Guys, this is gonna be a bit long because I wrote down this. Okay, so how did I show this? Like this. And, I'm gonna talk about that. Okay. So, what is this video about? It's about me reflecting on my own inner state. And why did I start doing that? I never started doing it. As you guys know, about a month ago, I started looking more deeper into people. And what this has led me to do is at the same time look into myself as well. Which has led me finding out that there's a lot of things that is not broken, but a bit off about my own self. So, I asked myself around 8 questions about my own, and here are the answers that I gave and my reflection on those answers. And why am I making this video? I'm making this video so that if you are like me, who do not have a great understanding about yourself, or is a person who would like to have a better understanding, maybe answering the same questions and having your own answers and reflecting on them might be a good way to have a better understanding on yourself, right? So, let me start. The main 8 questions are existence and achievement. Am I still a valuable person even when I am incompetent? Number 2 was silence and anxiety, which is, what do I feel when I wake up with no plan on a weekend? And number 3 was control and chaos. And for a fact, I'm gonna have the whole script that I wrote down on the description. So if you guys want to check it out, it's gonna be there. So number 3 was control and chaos. How do I treat a situation that was unexpected? Number 4, thoughts on being unenergetic. When I feel down, how do I treat myself? Number 5 was definition of rest, which is my definition on how I take a rest. And number 6 was, do I care about how others would view me? Are the things I am doing just for me or to prove something to someone else? And number 7 was, what's the not busy me? If I let go of everything that's happening to me right now and do whatever for a year, what would I like to do? And number 8 is what I fear the most. What do I fear the most? Is it failure or time spent unmeaningfully? And as you guys could see, the questions are sort of geared towards busy, real me, resting, and all that. And it's because about 2 days ago, I was on my couch, like a stair over there, sitting down, reflecting on my day, and then suddenly just finding out that from the start of the day where I wake up until the time where I go to bed, not a single time is spent without noise. Like when I wake up, I watch my phone. Then, before I take a shower, I turn on music. When I take a shower, I listen to music. When I get back and go out to get breakfast, I'm listening to some YouTube or a podcast. And then all day, I'm just on my phone or working or reading. So I'm constantly in a cage of noise that I built myself. And then a question appeared in my mind where, is this actually me being me, or me being caught up in a cage that I built myself up with some noises that I didn't really enjoy? So I quickly found out that I do fear the state of being, quiet and resting, and was constantly kind of hitting myself that I should be performing in any way or form. So it naturally ended up asking myself, like, is that good or bad, But before actually analyzing something as good or bad, I like to view the thing in a better way. So before saying a horse is good or bad, I would like to know what a horse is, right? So naturally, I came up with these 8 questions and started answering them. to have a better understanding about myself before actually judging whether that is good or bad. And this video is totally just me being completely honest and the answers that I gave myself, and the reflection that I gave on those comments. So, hope you guys enjoy. I'll start out with the first question, which is, which was existence and achievement. So, the underlying question is, am I still a valuable person even when I am an incompetent one? So, and my answer is no. I feel like I'm a person who could be thrown away anytime if I am proven unworthy or incompetent. And this could be found true because wherever I go, I try to prove myself incompetence. And this could be shown in many ways. So for instance, if I go camping, I need to be the guy who puts on the tent. You know, if someone comes to my house, I try to gift them everything that I could do. And in a situation that is bad, I try to prove that I am capable of solving it, right? And my reflection on this thought is that deep inside, I grade myself with a view that could be summarized as, if you were to be worthy, you must be competent. And at the same time, I also think that, you know, being incompetent or unhelpful to the team inevitably means that he or she is going to get thrown away. And I do view others that way, to be honest, right? So from a very young age. Right now, it's gotten weakened, but when I was really young, if I had to do any teamwork, when I was like 8, I think, if you were being useless, just get the fuck out of the boat, is what I thought about. Is that a good or bad mindset? I don't know. It's completely good if I would live in a capitalistic society where everybody is graded with their expected outcome, you know. But if you would live in a place, you know, full of love, I don't think that's a good mindset to have. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, every answer I have a expected danger or, you know, expected key questions that I should ask myself or underlying belief that I thought about. So, in this one, I had a expected danger, which is my self-love is highly dependent on outer conditions. That when I fail or rest, my presence itself might be threatened. And I do think so. Yeah. I do think that it is true. And that is probably why I am scared of having a rest day. You know, 2 days ago, I went to the club with my friends. I completely don't like clubbing, but the thing is, I met them for the first time in 3 years, and the guys are not from Seoul. They wanted to visit, and you know, they wanted to go. So I went there 3 days ago. So the next day, which is yesterday, I had to take a complete rest day, and by the time I went to sleep, I felt like shit. So, you know, if because I grade people and myself according to how competent they are, I think when I catch myself not being so, I oftentimes feel like my presence itself is being threatened. Yeah. Okay, so number 2, silence and anxiety. What do you feel when you wake up with no plan on weekend? That's my question. Actually, these questions were not completely brought up by me. I had some research, and I also used ChatGPT to help it out. So keep that in mind. And my answer was, I feel vain and boring, and nowadays I'm filling them out with noises such as short form content or videos about current affairs and culture that I have a pale interest in. And the reflection on that is silence itself seems like a vein to me, and therefore I fill it out with noise. And the expected danger is I'm not facing the inner vein, instead I'm trying to cover it up with content or fake meanings. You guys get what that means? So if I'm in a silent state, I feel anxiety and fear, and the correct attitude towards that should be, why so? And thinking about it. But instead I try to bother myself with other outer noises so that I could be like I could cover it up. And after thinking about that, I found out that I am no different from an alcoholic. Like, what's an alcoholic? An alcoholic is a person who denies reality and relies on alcohol because he cannot face the actual state of the world, or like his state of reality, right? I'm doing the exact same thing because I'm uncomfortable with the state that I'm currently in, or the state of my mind that is here. I try to cover it up with noises or subjects that I have a pale interest in, like some ancient Chinese history. Like, yeah, I'm interested in it. But, like, do I really care? No. Does it really matter in my life? Sort of. You know, if I make a Chinese billionaire and talk about it, it might. But it's not like a big thing. But I just have it on my audio so that I could just cover up that about the fact that I'm in this vague, uncomfortable state, right? I'm no different from an alcoholic. So that was my reflection on my second question. And the third one was controlling chaos. How do I treat a situation that was unexpected? And I do not like those type of situations. And if I cannot understand the current situation with a full map, I feel frustrated and I become very anxious. And my reflection on this state was that this shows that I try to view and control the world in a way that I can identify with logic, classification, and analysis. This actually shows that I'm smart, but at the same time I fear chaos, ambiguity, and failure. Right? So I view the world as the world shall be understood, and I'm safe inside the understood bubble world. And a problem that came around with this is that, like, I'm naturally this way. So from a very young age, I just liked science because science is the whole subject where it views the world in a, logical classification and analytic way. But at the same time, I was viewing people that way. So when I would meet someone, I wouldn't even know, but I was sort of classifying them, or not like classifying in a hierarchical way, but I was trying to understand them, but in a logical way, which is not a way you want to understand a human. So for instance, when a friend says that I started recording YouTube videos, right? So if someone has said that, a better way to understand a person is actually giving interest in that person and caring and asking questions on why you started recording videos, or what type of videos you're recording, or is what made you do that. But instead I would be like, okay, well, she's a girl, she's a short girl, so I'd find these characteristics of that female or girl, and then I would try to find same and differentiates, and then put a classification or analyze the whole situation and labeling it. For instance, like, short girls like making videos. And I don't think that's a good way to view people, but that's how I do. And that's how I did, actually, not now. Yeah. And after understanding that is not how you should, that is not a good way to view people in a high definition way, I started viewing it differently, which led me viewing myself in a different way, which led me asking these type of questions to myself, which led me finding out that I do not have a good understanding on my own. Okay, so number 4 was thoughts on feeling unenergetic. When I feel down, how do I treat myself? Is I do feel unenergetic. If I do feel unenergetic, I view this as a problem, and I still think the same. And with active feedback, I came to the conclusion that it is due to lack of nutrition. Therefore, whenever I am unenergetic, I eat food or snacks to fill my calories in. This is actually true. When I just feel down, it's mostly because I am. It's mostly due to lack of calories. So I just push in milk and energy bars or something with high carbs, and I just feel amazing again. But the reflection that I had is that I'm viewing the feeling of unenergetic as also something to fix and a flaw that could be analyzed. Right? So I'm not actually when I'm like sometimes when you feel unenergetic, it might be better to just say, okay, you're unenergetic. But even at those times where I just should be acknowledging the state that I am in, I still view it as a problem and something to solve. So I do have a strength where I view the body as a mechanism, but at the same time I'm not accepting it as a whole and rather viewing it as a problem to fix. And the underlying belief on this is that I shall always I shall always move and function. If not, it probably indicates that something must be broken. And the fifth question is definition of rest. What your definition of taking rest is. And the best definition of my rest is sufficient calories and sleep. This may be due to my bulk and bodybuilding type of view that I acquired along the way. And my reflection on this thought is that I'm also looking at rest as a source for even better efficiency, which indicates that inefficiency itself is viewed a wrong deep down in my heart, right? And the key question that I would ask again was, have I ever rested just for the sake of it? That was the second question I asked. And my answer is no, actually. I've never ever rested just for resting. Right? Like every time I was resting, it was for better performance tomorrow or because I had a bad day today. Like a tough day the day before. No, that's not even the case. It was always more geared towards better expected performance on the day after. Which indicates, I'm also viewing rest as a tool for competency. Yeah, and the sixth is, do I care about how others view me? And are the things you are doing just for you or to prove something to someone else? And my answer is I do care about other eyesights, but I do act as if I do not care. But that is also a way to show that I don't care, which indicates that I do in fact care. Right? So just by saying that I don't care itself implies that you do care. Because a true person who do not care wouldn't even say that. Because it do not matter. Right? You get what I mean? So if you're saying, like, yeah, I can't come up with a better answer, like a better way to present it. But yeah, and my reflection is I seem like a person who like to project the ideal of a person who do not care, but in reality I am not. And in a state where it is not neglected nor considered, like I'm in a state where I care, but at the same time not care, which puts me in a ambiguous state, right? And yeah, here it is. I'm summarizing my summarization is I like to be seen free, but at the same time thinking about what would make me look free itself indicates that I am being unfree from others. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. Like can a person even be completely free from others' sights? Like, right? We're social animals. Is that even possible? I don't know, but that's this whole thing is not for grading. It's just for looking at myself better. You see? So the first layer is identifying and looking at the world in a better definition and higher density, higher quality. And then the grading or the choosing attitude is the second layer. I can't do that before I have a better understanding. Like I can't choose, like am I gonna hit the ball this way, that way, or this way? I can't choose until I know what type of ball that is, right? So this whole process is understanding the ball better. That's the whole purpose of this. So yeah, just a reminder. And then the 7th question was, what's the not busy me? And if I would let go of everything that's happening to me right now and do whatever for a year, what would I like to do? And my answer is, I cannot imagine. Because I should put it here. I cannot. I'll probably keep on doing something to have myself. Wait. Yeah, I'll probably keep on doing something to have myself in the cage of noise that I built myself. Is what I said. Yeah, so, and my reflection on this is existence means functioning, right? That's deeply ingrained inside my thoughts. But at the same time, I'm saying keeping myself in the cage of noise that I built myself, which indicates that I'm consciously putting myself in a meaningless, busy state. Which this kind of connects with number 2, where I asked myself about vain and being boring, and not being boring, like being in a state of boredness, right? Where I'm consciously putting myself in a situation where I could neglect the reality where I'm uncomfortable with me being myself. Yeah, and number 8 is what I fear the most. What do I fear the most? Is it failure or time spent unmeaningfully? And my answer is the biggest fear that I have is time spent without history or stories. But I'm not sure because up until now I do not have a season or time where I haven't been doing anything. If someone would pick any time in any life frame, I would always be doing something. Yeah, and my reflection is this shows the underlying belief that life must be a string of stories, and if not, it's meaningless. Yeah, that is the whole reflection that I had. How long is this? This was freaking 22 minutes. If you're still here, thank you. That was just me being completely honest about myself. And yeah, and by the end of this whole session that I had with myself, I gave myself a to-do list, which is every day for 10 minutes I shall sit by myself and think or write about the following questions, which is number 1, what am I running away from? So I'm putting myself in the cage of noises, which would put me in a safe range. But at the same time, it cages me up. It locks me up in a certain area. So what is it that I'm fearing that is outside of the cage? What am I fearing? What am I running out of? What am I running away from? That's the first question I need to ask. And the second question is, how am I protecting myself from the things that I'm running away from? Well, I said noises, but that's a very vague term, right? Like, how am I running away from the things that I say that I fear? So that's my to-do list, and this video is the complete reflection on my thought. This is actually the first thing that I started doing. So I said, I'm gonna write now, right? The video before, I'm gonna start writing. This is the first thing that I wrote. Hope you guys enjoyed. It would have a lot of grammatically incorrect sentences. It is very incoherent. At the same time, it is very incomplete. But please, with your kind heart, just accept it, please. It's my first trial. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And if you have any other thoughts, I'm open to any source of way of contacting me. I'm in IG. I do have a Discord, but I'm not really active in it, so IG would be better. or email me, whatever you want. You could just contact me. I'm not, as I said, I'm not a YouTuber. So I'm just a guy. I'm a med school student who just have a bunch of thoughts in my mind and is messy with it. And on this channel, I'm just trying to fix it or make it make sense. Is what I'm trying to do. So please do so. A lot of people have done it. Thank you guys. Yeah, that's the end of this video. And I should have said this in the first, but I'm dedicating this video for people who are trapping themselves in the wheel of busyness, like me, to neglect or deliberately blind themselves from viewing what they really want or the state of being uncomfortable with themselves. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back with another video. Not all of my videos are this long, so I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching.